Zach Nunn. Congressman Zach Nunn is in his first term serving Iowans in the 3rd Congressional District. A 6th-generation Iowan, Congressman Nunn was raised in a family of public school teachers, nurses, and farmers. Congressman Nunn served our country for almost 2 decades in the United States Air Force. Congressman Nunn currently serves as a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Air Force Reserve. Following his active duty military service, Congressman Nunn served in the Iowa House of Representatives and the Iowa Senate. In Congress, Congressman Nunn continues to be a pragmatic problem solver, pushing common sense policies to benefit Iowans in all 21 countries he has the honor of representing. Put your hands together for Congressman Nunn.
Well, hey guys, thank you very much. I know I'm standing between you and the next breakout session. I'm going to see if I'm a military commander, so can you hear me all right if I come out here? Yeah. Guys, first off, what you've been able to create is truly incredible. I started off working at the White House on the National Security Council, and that was only 8 short years ago. And at that point, we were dealing with real existential threats to the finance sector, to the energy sector, in the area of cybersecurity writ large. We found that the technology that was being produced most effectively was by that next generation of folks right here in the United States, as well as some of our near-peer adversaries and foreign intelligence services. They were turning away from the decades of service that I had done in counterintelligence and going directly to young people in their own community to identify how they could best breach America's own security systems. But the reality is this. A lot of these folks, whether they were in Russia or Iran or right here in the United States, didn't want to work for nefarious actors. They were truly trying to change the innovation space, and they were doing it for the better. Look, when we look at things like artificial intelligence today, and where it was from when you first came into contact with it, my days go all the way back to machine learning, to where it is going to be in a few short years by the time you graduate, it's going to revolutionize the way we do business. And the reality is that this partnership between great minds, great learning laboratories, whether they be your high school or your next step going on to college or in a business fellowship, to what we can do for a nation and a world go a long ways. Which is why I'm so proud as a freshman to get to be the co-chair of the Congressional App Challenge with an incredible guy by the name of Ted Lieu, who you heard from earlier in California. And while amazing things come out of classrooms and labs and innovation sectors, not just in Silicon Valley, but along the entire Western Seaboard, I don't want us to forget about what happens in the other 49 states and 4 territories. As a guy from Iowa, you might look and say, what kind of technology are you guys putting into this space? And I'm very proud that our guy, Sinu here, was able to come forward and highlight that every state, every community, every high school has the opportunity to really be a game changer for America. My dad is a public school teacher. When he started off, he went to Iowa State University as an engineering student. He wanted to build rockets. He wanted to be the first to the moon. His generation got to lead a revolutionary change in what the course of not just America's history was, but where the country went. When I look at the types of apps that you guys have created, the innovation that you brought to it, and the ability to field it in a recordly small window, not only are we decades beyond where my father was, but we are in a different generation of where we can go as a country. And so, it is a thrilling opportunity to get to invite you to Washington, D.C. It's an even more exciting opportunity to see what you are bringing to Washington with you. Look, I've always said there are 3 legs to the stool when it comes to innovation. When we have a problem set, technology will always be one of the first ones to solve most problems. The people who are trained to do what you are helping them to do with your apps will be able to learn because of what you have forged with your technological solutions. The third leg of that stool is the policy. Oftentimes, policy can be a great enabler. It can also be a huge roadblock. And what I'm asking for you guys in your apps, in your time out here in Washington, is help on those second 2 legs of the stool. It's clear that you are leaders on the innovation piece, but how do we get the people who use it, who learn from it, who can grow from it, and most importantly, who could benefit from it, to be able to use it in a way for good? And in that third leg, identify where the policy can come into place to help make sure that we have equality across the board, but also that we're lifting everybody up who's going to be an end user of the innovations that you're creating. And it's not just those in California or Iowa, it's across the board. And I would say it goes beyond the Atlantic and the Pacific as well. We have the opportunity to be a beacon of light for good in the world with the innovations you're creating. And let's make sure that the policy leaders, guys who are my age and gals, probably even more with a little gray hair than I already have, who can come alongside and learn from you on this. So my challenge to you today, don't just think about the innovation you've already brought to DC, think about how you're going to change both the heart, the mind, but most importantly, the utilization of your innovation going forward. And how you can help educate and open a new mind for folks who are not just the people sitting to the left and right of you, but to the people who are right here in Washington, sitting on the other side of this wall in Congress, what we need to do to best enable you to be successful. Team, the last thing I want to say here today is, I do want you to look to the left and right. There are parents, there are friends, there are educators. They've all helped you get to this spot. But then look at who's in front of you and who's behind you. These are other young people your age. You get to be part of an incredible cadre of individuals who come out here. And I guarantee, for several of you, you'll have the opportunity to run into each other again. I hope that you take this as a first chapter in your life to get to start the networking that is going to echo throughout the entire volume of your life. These individuals in this room are as equally motivated as you are. And I don't mean that in a competition way, I mean this in an innovative spirit way. You get the opportunity to work with some of the great minds that are going to be leading our country by the time you're my age. Help foster each other, stay in contact with each other, challenge each other, but then also innovate with each other. These are the areas that I have seen historically our best success happens is that when we reach across sectors or states or ideas and we start delivering things that can really grow on one innovation, fostering many, many more. So guys, honestly, thank you for coming out to Washington. I've got 6 little kiddos. I hope they get the opportunity to learn from the innovations that you're doing. Everything from how to do their homework better, to how to have a healthier life, to equally just have fun and communicate with other young people in a way that is productive and not destructive. Thank you very much, guys, for being out here. Privilege to be part of it.